Twickenham was completely iconic, but now it's just one of 7. There's 7 different stadiums across the world that are Allianz Arena, Stadium, whatever it might be. So it's gone from being one word that you instantly recognise and you instantly know what it is and where it is to one of 7 that you have to clarify the sport, the location, everything else. And for every other sponsor who's involved in this, Twickenham was part of the deal, right? Twickenham is a recognisable asset, and that's gone. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of money that helps make up for it, but the people who are making these decisions, well, how short-term are they? That's probably the question that I'd ask, right? This is over 100 years of history that's been thrown out the door and might be in a new role. I mean, I know some of them are in a new role and they want to be able to make their mark. They want to be able to go, look what I did, and they've got short-term bonuses to hit. Now, you're saying we call it Twickenham anyway. Well, I can tell you why that doesn't matter. Jade Stadium, okay, Lancaster Park is what I'm actually talking about. This is the Christchurch Stadium. That was always Lancaster Park. It was renamed to Jade Stadium. And then it became AMI Stadium. And even me, who's a rugby-loving Kiwi, I started to get confused with which stadium they were talking about anymore. I moved over here. It was like, oh, which one is it now? Is it like AMI Jade? What am I supposed to call it? The identity's gone, the kind of uniqueness of it. And that will happen to Twickenham, that same thing. It might not happen today, or next year, or the year after, but it will happen. And then you have other things like the commentators are obliged to use the name, right? So 2025 Women's Rugby World Cup was going to be iconic. That final was going to be in Twickenham. We're going to be calling it now. Those magic moments, they're not going to be talking about it happening in Twickenham. You're going to be using some corporate shill name. And this is all relevant to me particularly because I'm trying to create international rugby shields. And I don't want to name them after sponsors, and I won't. I will never, whilst I'm in control of them, name them after sponsors. They are the Rainbow Shield and the Utrecht Shield. They pay homage to the history of our game. Now we could be presented by, I guess. We could, but there need to be really strong things in place because what they are at their core is they are a connection through history of rugby. And one of the reasons why me being involved with it is that I'm not from the rugby world like this. I've got some more that I can tell you about the kind of sponsorship conversations I've had, or not even the sponsorship, but the power brokers of rugby, particularly in England, who I've spoken to before. They don't give a shit about you. They give a shit about how much money they can make, and that's pretty clear from the Allianz deal.